Hey people, everybody, clearing. Okay, I'm in a little bit of a wacky mood today, and what the heck, let's clear with some Palo Santo as well. So, I don't think I'm going to do the regular Divine Masculine reading. I like it, but today I just want to dive in and ask some questions. Like, actually, because we saw the collective waking up, let's do some heavy hitting. I'm hearing the word accountability. Let's see, what does awake mean? What are the masculines thinking of this connection? What do they think it is? All of that. So let's dive in. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest and most beneficial information coming through for the amazing Twin Flame Collective that joins me here. What is it that we can see regarding how the masculines are viewing these freaky weird connections that seem to defy the laws of the 3D gravity? All right. Oh, two more shuffles. What is it that we need to see? All right, so let's just begin. What is it, Divine Creator and Divine Masculine Collective? How are the Divine Masculines viewing this connection? Okay, so we get the 10 of Wands. This is a burden. This is a difficult, long road. Let's get some more clarification. So, masculines, what is it that you are particularly feeling is burdensome or difficult or long-suffering in these connections? Ooh, manifesting them. I heard making them flow easily. Okay, awesome. Let's look at being told to take a little bit more. So what? Oh, yeah. Wow. Literally, I just got Divine Masculine, King of Wands, King of Flames, and the reunion card with a whole bunch of information below it. So, oh yes. This justified connection, you know, the feminine walking away, the feminine having anxiety about reunion, about the connection being justified. And what I'm truly getting here is masculines are feeling like these connections have not come easy, not like a karmic thing that is easy come, easy go. These things are worth everything. These are soul deep. And the time that this is taking to come into fruition is impressing on the masculines both the validity of it and the concerns with it. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what the masculines would say to the divine feminines at this time with the Hermetic Tarot regarding this crazy long suffering. I'm just maniacally laughing, but you know, isn't it true? Definitely. Tower. So in the reverse, the Tower card is like a major foundational change, and it's still in transition. So basically, I'm hearing this has rocked their world. It is transforming their world. It's completely radically shifting their world, turning the world upside down. Everything has changed. All of the karma, all the soul level understanding of reality has come into view because of this connection. It's turned their world upside down. And I'm hearing many of the Divine Masculine Collective saying in all the best ways possible, but still, nonetheless, you have radically changed their lives. Anything else, Divine Masculines, that you'd like to say? We got, I left because you told me to. So they're still looking at this concept of trying to honor the feminine and the boundaries, the wishes, the standards, but also seeing that it could possibly be projection. Wow, I'm getting some accountability here, masculines, that the way that you've been looking at these connections largely depends on which orientation you've had regarding what foundation you rest on, 3D or ascended, worldly, you know, the imprinting society, culturally, or an ascended, more energetic interpretation. I'm hearing self-realization. So masculines are really wanting to say that they are starting to understand how instrumental you are in them realizing who they really are. Feminines, how beautiful is that? Okay, I'm getting a nudge right now. Oh! Hello, my little makeshift tripod there. Let me just adjust. Okay, so what is the cutting edge development? What is the lesson the masculines are working on? Wow, that fell out. Allowing what they're being shown to exist in their world. With the Tower in the reverse, it's kind of like not having it have to be a devastation, being able to just allow in flow. But this does say, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, without resistance, when we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. This has been such a common theme lately, where the masculines, you beautiful masculines, have been compartmentalizing this connection, not having the bandwidth to deal with it, because of the intensity, the magnitude, the reality, the truth of these connections. They are the very thing that aligns with the ascended, the freedom, the realized, the partnering in the wondrous dance of existence, expansion, exponential. They are freedom. These connections are freedom, masculines, and you're starting to get glimmers of that. But when there's resistance, that freedom is the very thing we say we want and yet aren't going towards, because there's still that karmic learning and reconciliation. Then we have change and conception in the reverse. So fear of change, allowing these connections to come in, is saying yes to this radically different view of reality. The change card says, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. So yeah, this is allowing the new to come in will actually allow the old to transition with grace. But there is that holding back, I'm feeling. And conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and the possibilities of this space, and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. So this is taking back the stepping out of the seriousness of the imprinting of the societal structures, and bringing it back to that original, the origin, the conceptual, the unbounded potential that each soul brings forth when incarnating. So this is the meeting point of the masculines coming into remembering their God selves and not resisting that. Oh, I just feel this sticky, tricky membrane of holding back the floodgates of emotion and aliveness and the eternal wellspring of creative flow. It's the fear of success. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so let's just get an energetic card and see, masculines, what is a very appropriate lens to look through here. I'm getting two: inner vision, divination, and intuition, rescued reflections. So this is a time to pause and look at the projections that we touched on there regarding your feminine, to look at how certain things have resonated in your life experiences, and compare those truly, authentically to the experiences on the twin journey. And flower of feelings, emotional awakening, forgiveness, compassion. So there's that floodgates. Masculines, you really are about to step into freedom. For those of you who are watching this, there's a real thin membrane between where you're at and allowance here, which is connected with forgiveness, emotional awakening. I heard another reader on YouTube the other day talking about weaponizing past experiences against new people when we don't do the healing. What reader was that? I'm going to pin it in the comments when I can remember. Anyways, interesting stuff. I just stumbled across him, so I will post it down in the comments who it was. But yeah, it's difficult, you know, with this theme of forgiveness, emotional awakening. It's really a reclamation of that inner child. We had that card for you, Divine Masculines. This is the inner child healing. When we take back our power, meaning we see ourselves for our own truth of who we are. We know our hearts. The divine knows our hearts. We are entitled to our emotions. We're also entitled to joy. It's our birthright to come into emotional safety, security, expression, freedom, joy, abundance that way, and to understand how to access that. Based on our emotional navigation, how to access those things that create more of that in our lives without resisting them, without fearing that those very things are a trick. Forgiveness is a huge key to accurately experiencing the bliss that comes from emotional awakening and the compassion. I know my own inner masculine attribute right now is holding compassion regarding developmental stage and authentic showing up or not. And I'm much more inclined to very much forgive, especially my divine masculine, for not being in a place of recognizing this connection the way that I see it, the way the divine has shown me. And so there's so much forgiveness and compassion that my DM isn't there yet to honor that to the full extent of what is possible. Like, really, how rare is it to absolutely find an incredible spiritual connection with another soul on the planet? And there's no reason why that shouldn't be celebrated as profoundly and as completely as is available. So if it's not being celebrated in its fullness, then it's time for compassion and forgiveness, because that indicates that if you're there, that indicates the other person isn't there. Because even if they were there and they just didn't prefer you, they would still be celebrating that profound connectivity that is found in that kind of love, spirituality, insight, wisdom, consciousness. So forgive them, for they know not what they do, is something that keeps coming to my heart space, especially this last weekend. I have to say, if you were feeling the intensity twin collective, you were not wrong. I used the word gritty many times. Heightened telepathic communication, I would say, between twins. And I don't share much about my own journey, but since 2019, I have not been out of contact with my DM for more than a day or two. And this is the first time that I have truly felt to release, because I don't see focused growth between the two of us. It's very ironic to me, because leading up to this desire on my part to withdraw, because I see an energetic incompatibility right now, I definitely shared a disclaimer and that I would be pretty preoccupied for the next couple of months. And so it's an interesting space, because I know that my DM will not take it personally that I've taken a step back. And that's an interesting place to be in. It's a whole different alignment, and we'll just see how it goes. Actually, I'm going to pull a card on advice for the divine feminines right now as the DMs are coming into the awareness of these connections. What is it that the divine feminines can know about energetically where they're feeling pulled? Wow, third-party situations in the reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, I'm just really feeling, everybody, that the divine feminines know their worth like never before. They know their loyalty, they know their purity, they know they are gold, and they know that they are not in competition, they are not an option, and they're not concerned about all of these other energies. And you know, this is a card of friendship, so while it's third-party situations and understanding connection, it is in the reverse, meaning there is no comparison. However, this is also the friendship, and I touched on that a little moment ago in that channeling. Even though I'm sharing personal things, it's all energetic transference. And so if your DM is not able to even just honor the magnitude of the spiritual connection that you share, because it's so big, if that friendship can't be there, sometimes the kindest thing is just to be in this autonomy. There's no forcing in these connections. So there is this double message that divine feminines, you are truly set apart, you are unique, you are whole, you are wise, you are rare, you are refined, and you are good. Nothing compares to you, and you don't need to take anything personally, but have compassion. Have compassion. So for the divine masculines that just saw that, I want to pull a card. Wow, I'm being told the Beyond Lemuria deck. So what is it that the divine masculines can know about the divine feminines right now? We get crown chakra in the reverse, but I'm going to read it in the upright. So the divine feminine has been through the sacral chakra, has been a channeling force. That is the high priestess frequency, the divine feminine attribute that does channel, that does give that energetic news report on behalf of the masculine and feminine polarities. So the masculines are getting the crown chakra for advice right now. It did come out in the reverse, which I can't help but think is a little bit of a withdrawing of the divine feminine so that the masculines can come into more of a recognition of this attribute within, without, you know, relying on and subtly blaming the feminine for suggesting those things. There's something that happens in karmic situations where there's an imbalance, and then it disintegrates into a manifestation that highlights the imbalance. In these connections, there's a divinely guided motion that doesn't allow that disintegration to take root and to fester. There's a space that's created, a disconnect. It's a very pure way of connecting, and it looks like separation, silence, space, friend zone, acknowledgement of intensity and taking a step back. So for the feminine collective, there is a real balancing and a recognition that the intensity the masculines have been bringing with their seeking and experimentation and restlessness, that is its own form of intensity. And the feminines are being protected from that, because that is exactly when the masculines disconnect from the counterpart, is when they feel that desire to not include the feminine in their explorations. But this advice, the crown chakra masculines, so devotion, inner guidance, visionary inspiration, fathoming beyond the mind, enlightenment, connection to the universe and life force energy. The crown chakra is your link to the multidimensionality of your being, the seat of your soul. It gracefully connects you to the heavens, the infinity symbol of the limitlessness appears within the unfolding petals and points to your most potent potential. Here you can delight in the divine strands of light that dance with us when we are aligned with spirit, purpose, and truth. Restore. Be present and flowing without rigid outcomes. Find more spaces in your life. Find your own way to meditate. When you're distracted, you're living on a surface level. Explore the state of flow and be receptive to the intuitive messages you may receive. Themes. The way for you to be most aligned with divine guidance and connection with spirit. Healing. Top of the head or just above the head if laying down. Color wash is white with flecks of gold and violet. So masculines, this is you remembering your connection to your own intuition, your own downloads. This is not the instinctual. This is the higher love, the higher aesthetic, the higher understanding, the wisdom. And so I am feeling, masculines, that your divine feminines are going to be pulled away for a time to focus on more mundane and practical material realm things as you kind of flip into this esoteric exploration, this connection to source, without having a commentary or energetically or in the 3D from your feminine for a time, masculines. So let me know how that resonates and where you're all at with understanding those frequencies in the comments below. I'd love to know. This has been one of the first times that I've been given the green light to really explore anecdotally what I'm going through on my journey. And I don't want to project what's happening for me typically into these card readings. So let me know how it all hits out there in YouTube land, and many blessings. Bye for now.